Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a machine that you see absolutely everywhere, but probably don't give a second thought to. The forklift. It's really the unsung hero of our entire global economy. So the big question is, how on earth does this relatively small machine lift thousands of pounds without just falling flat on its face? Let's break it down.
You know, the answer is this incredible balancing act between physics, raw power, and some seriously clever design. Every single part we're about to look at works together in perfect harmony, all to solve this one fundamental problem.
So to really understand how a forklift is built, you first have to appreciate why it's built. I mean, this isn't just some random vehicle. It's a vital link in the chain that gets everything from your phone to your food from a factory to your front door.
And that very simple definition? Well, it hides some brilliant engineering. Because to move all that heavy stuff quickly and safely, a forklift has to be a master of three things: leverage, balance, and power. Let's see how each part plays its role.
Okay, so let's build this thing from the ground up, starting with its foundation. These are the parts that keep it stable and get it moving.
The frame is basically the forklift's skeleton, but it's so much more than just a base. It's this super rugged, unbending core that has to handle these immense opposing forces, the heavy load pulling down in the front and a massive counterweight pulling down in the back.
And here's a cool little secret to its stability. It all comes down to just 3 points. You've got the two front wheels, and then the exact center, the pivot point of the rear axle. If you draw a line between them, you get what's called a stability triangle. As long as the forklift's combined center of gravity stays inside that triangle, it's not going to tip. But, as you can imagine, adding a huge load to the front changes everything.
And that's where this thing comes in. This is the forklift's secret weapon, the counterweight. It's literally just a giant block of cast iron bolted to the back. Think of it like a seesaw. The counterweight is on one end, perfectly balancing out that massive load on the forks. Without it, the second you tried to lift something heavy, the whole machine would tip right over.
And of course, you can't go anywhere without wheels, but not all forklift tires are the same. They're chosen specifically for the job. You've got these solid cushion tires, which are perfect for smooth warehouse floors because they let you make super tight turns. But then you have pneumatic tires, which are built tough, more like truck tires, ready for the rough and tumble of an outdoor construction site.
All right, let's jump into the driver's seat. This is where all that brute force gets harnessed with some surprisingly delicate control.
This is the nerve center of the whole operation. From this one seat, the operator turns simple hand and foot movements into these incredibly precise, powerful actions. Everything in here is built for control, but also for safety, right down to the overhead guard that protects the driver from any falling objects.
And it really comes down to mastering these three levers. See, a great operator isn't just going up and down. They're constantly using the tilt lever to lean the load back for stability while they're driving. Then they use the side shift lever for those tiny final adjustments so they don't have to reposition the entire truck. It's really like a constant, fluid dance between these controls.
Okay, so we've got the frame, we've got the controls, but where does all that incredible lifting muscle come from? Well, the answer is one word: hydraulics. It's a system that can multiply force with mind-boggling efficiency.
The most visible part of that system is the mast. You can think of it as the elevator for the cargo. It's this set of interlocking rails that the forks travel up and down on. But here's the thing: the mast itself doesn't have any power. That all comes from the hydraulic cylinders that are hidden inside it.
And how it works is just amazing. It's all about pressurized fluid. The main lift cylinder uses that pressure to push the entire mast assembly straight up with immense force. But at the same time, you've got these two tilt cylinders working, pushing and pulling to angle the whole mast forward and backward, which is crucial for keeping the load stable and secure.
So this is the final piece of that whole lifting puzzle. It's the part that actually connects the hydraulic power to the cargo. The carriage is what rides up and down the mast, and it's where you actually mount the forks, plus a load backrest that keeps the cargo from sliding backward onto the operator.
Now, a standard forklift is already a beast, but what makes it a true shapeshifter in the industrial world are all the specialized attachments you can put on it. This is how one machine can do dozens of totally different jobs.
And that's the whole point, right? This is how you transform a forklift from just a lifter into this specialized, multi-purpose tool. I mean, the right attachment can completely change the game. It boosts efficiency, it improves safety, and it can even cut down on damage to whatever you're moving. We're talking about attachments that let you do almost anything. Push, pull, clamp, rotate, you name it. You can handle giant rolls of paper with a special clamp, or you can grab 2 pallets at once with a multiple pallet handler. It's not just about lifting pallets anymore.
And this one right here, this is a total game changer. The side shifter is probably the most common attachment for a reason. It lets the operator make these tiny little left and right adjustments to the forks without moving the whole truck. I mean, the amount of time that saves is incredible. It reduces pallet damage and lets you stack things way closer together, saving priceless warehouse space.
So you might think a machine this essential is pretty much perfected, right? Well, not exactly. This incredible machine is still evolving. We're now seeing the rise of fully automated, computer-controlled forklifts that can navigate a warehouse all by themselves. Which leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to ponder. How is this essential, yet often invisible workhorse going to continue to shape the future of how our world works?